I think it's working. Okay. So, I'm Amy Pond. And if anybody is a Doctor Who fan, you'll know exactly who that is. If you don't, that's okay. What's that? Oh, you can't hear me? Is that better? I'm here to let you know that I've been on a journey since I was a little kid. And I have done really amazing things over the past 5 years, and partly because of the group that we have at the Pride Center now. It's called the Grand Rapids Crossdresser Social Group. And what we do is we help people like myself that have come from very shy, didn't know what we were doing, we were ashamed, we were scared, and we help empower them, we help bring them some hope and a way to achieve, to be who they want to be. And it's very important in that regard because when I was really young, I felt there wasn't something about me that wasn't what, you know, the gender would say I was supposed to be. I didn't feel that way. But I really felt like I was going to get in trouble, that my parents would do something to me, I'd get thrown in jail or do something, and it was horrible. So for many, many years, that's the way it was. And I just kept closeting things for a long time, but it never would go away. And 5 years ago, we had a group here in Grand Rapids that is with the Pride Center, and they have a very unique setup with that thing. Because for me, it was very important. It helped get me out to where I am now. Our group is basically a group that lets you be who you are. It gives you self-empowerment. And we do it in a rather interesting way. We call them in-meetings. And at these in-meetings, what we do is, you can come into our building in a discrete setup. If you know, there are a lot of people, and we get quite a few, and I get people even in public when I see them. They wonder how do I go out in public and just be myself? They're just absolutely amazed. And I'm like, well, it's really not too difficult. And I invite them to this in-meeting because if you really feel that you're not sure what you want to do, they come to the in-meeting. They can come in a whatever we call it, guy mode or girl mode, whatever they want to be, if they don't want to be presenting in the mode they want to be in. And they come in, and they can get changed in that room, in the building, and then they can be who they are for a couple, 3 hours in a very friendly, like-minded environment. And there's no pressure, there's no names, there's no nothing. You just be there who you want to be. And I'll tell you what, my first time there, I was scared. I got dressed, drove in my car, and I went to the meeting, and I didn't want to get out of my car. I didn't want to go in there. I said, I don't know why am I doing this? Why am I doing all this stuff? And I got in there, and it was like a big weight got lifted off me. It was absolutely amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, there are other people who have the same feelings I do, and they're not weirdos, they're not freaks, they're not some kind of aberration that other people might kind of make you think it is. What used to come to my mind was things like TV shows, old cop shows that used to make trans people like they were just train wrecks. And that's what I used to think I was. And I wasn't. And I sat down, I was talking to people that were just like me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. And that was the biggest thing, I wasn't alone. And I could do what I felt I wanted to be like. I wanted to be the gender that I wanted to be in this particular form. That's right. But the thing was is that once that got lifted off, I was like, oh my gosh, it was it like opened this door for me. And anybody who knows me, the past few years, I've just been going all over the place. I've gone, we used to just go clubbing and stuff and just restrict our movements to certain places, but after a while I started getting more and more empowered, if you will. And the girls that I was with, the other people that were in our group, we all kind of fed off of each other and we started to really pick it up. And the thing is that, you know, people, you know, our group is like, it's called the Crossdresser Group. And the problem is, cross-dressers can be, sometimes it's usually considered a fetish or something, but that's just one piece of it. If you do anything in this life, any particular group, you're going to find sections that do different things. But our cross-dresser group isn't some kind of fetish thing. Ours is basically a group that's trying to help people, whether they're male to female or female to male, give them a forum, a place to be able to actually feel they can be who they want to be and get the love and empowerment from the group. And we'll go to the Bob, we'll go to the Rumors, and I've gone to Meyer, and I'll tell you, I'm learning this stuff as I go over the past years. I didn't have anybody teach me anything. I had to do it on myself. One of the stories I want to give to you is that I was in the Meyer store one time about 3 years ago. I don't consider myself necessarily really big on makeup and dressing and everything, because I'm an electrical engineer by heart. That's what I do. So I'm kind of nerdy in some respects. But I'm in Meyer, and I'm going around in the store looking at some clothes and stuff, trying to figure out what I might want to do. And this gal was watching, and I thought, oh gosh, she's probably going to come over and say something hard about, you're a guy dressed, but she didn't. After a little bit, after she did this dance around me for a little while, she came up and says, she goes, "You inspire me." And I was like, well, what do you mean? She goes, "Look at you." She says, "You look nice. Your makeup is great. You dress really good. I can't dress like that." And she says, "Look at me." She goes at herself. She says, "I'm wearing jeans. I've got sneakers on. I wish I could dress like that." And this is a cis girl. and it was, I can't tell you what that did for me in a way, because it was like, I was just so happy that I was able to actually provide some inspiration to somebody. And the thing is that I learned from that experience and some many other ones that I've been on, where I have online interactions. I have people that I meet in various venues that I go to, and so many people come and they're just absolutely inspired by the efforts that I do when I go out. Because a little bit of the backstory is I do a lot of going everywhere. I mean, I was in Kalamazoo last night. I was at a roller derby thing 2 nights ago. I was in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania the other weekend. I've been over in England as Amy. I met with the roller derby team over there, and they were just enamored because Amy Pond, if you don't know, is a Doctor Who character. And Amy Pond is she's the 11th Doctor's companion, and she's she's just like me. She's very active. She doesn't take any, she's got a go-to attitude. She's going to do whatever she's going to do, and that's kind of like what I wanted to be. So the roller derby girls over there were just absolutely amazed. They said, "Oh my gosh, Amy Pond is here," and they were all over it. But the thing is that the reason why I had gone to do that is because I met a transgender girl over in England over here, but we had only known each other by the keyboard. We didn't really know who was who. And so I went and I talked with her, and we decided to meet. And the way to do it was to do it in a public thing, because you obviously want to try and be safe, because we never know what's going on when you're online or anything. Well, Cassie, who's a gal over in England, when I went over there, we met at that roller derby thing, and it worked out really nice because I get to learn a little bit more about roller derby, which I didn't know much about at the time. But also is that I was able to meet some other transgender girls overseas, and I was able to, and this is the other part, the inspiring part, is that I was overseas dressed as Amy. I was out going around doing touristy kind of things, walking streets and so on, and I didn't have any problem. And that's kind of another one of those inspirational things, because I try to make sure that everything is safe whatever I do. But the thing is that I've come to the conclusion with our group that has self-empowered me and the other girls in our group, is that it's more than how you're dressed. It's really just what I have found out is it's a state of mind. I mean, I believe who I am, and I don't care what other people are trying to think or whatever they say, because I've gone beyond that, and that's what our group has done. Our group, when we first got together, when I was starting with a number of the girls, some of them are here actually, you know, all of us were very shy. We were scared to go to the mall. We were scared to go to the club. We were afraid people were going to come out with pitchforks and torches and come after us and beat us up or something. That's what we kept thinking. But over time, we became very self-empowered, and we really started to learn how it wasn't so much what other people were thinking. It was just what we thought about ourselves was the important thing. And that's where all the self-empowerment our group has brought to us. That's what the power of our group is that it's not necessarily how you're dressing or your past or anything, but do you believe who you are, and are you, is that how you really want to feel? And that's what really helps bring this whole thing to fruition, because when I go out now, I just have that confidence that I got from our group, from the love from our group, and the self-empowerment that we've all learned from each other. And that's what's really helped a lot, is that I can go, I don't mind going anywhere now. I'll go wherever I want to now. I don't worry about whether anybody's going to clock me or something. I mean, I try to be reasonable about what I'm doing, because we don't want to necessarily walk around in, you know, bizarre outfits. But I mean, the thing is that we're trying to bring a special look at how cross-dressers don't always have to be a fetish kind of thing. There actually is there's a path in there that I'm finding. And for me, my path is transitioning. And because I've been thinking about this for an awful long time, and the cross-dressing thing was part of it. It was a way for me to learn who I was. And now what's happened is that I finally find out who I really want to be. And a number of our girls in our group ahead of me, a lot braver than I have been, have already gone on, and it's sort of like a school is kind of what I think they graduated on to be who they really want to be, and our group has given them a chance to do that. And so I feel like I'm in that same path, because I really believe who I want to be, and that's what this this Transgender Day of Visibility is helping me with too, because I think this is just wonderful to be able to show that, you know, we should be proud of ourselves, we should be self-empowered ourselves, we should be able to go out, be who we want to be, and not let anybody tell us otherwise. And that's exactly what we're doing here, is that just, you know, let's all be who we are. Anyway, thank you.